Welcome to History Decoded, where we unravel the stories of the past that shaped our world today. Today, we're diving into one of the most harrowing periods in American history, the Dust Bowl, a seemingly endless cloud of dust swallowing entire towns, farms destroyed, and families forced to leave everything they knew behind. America's Heartland. The Dust Bowl struck America's heartland in the early 1930s, a region known for its wide-open prairies, ideal farmland, and tight-knit communities. Stretching across Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, Colorado, and New Mexico, this area was a lifeline for American agriculture. But when severe droughts began in 1931, paired with the farming techniques of the time, this lifeline was cut off. Farmers had plowed up deep-rooted grasses to plant wheat, corn, and other crops, but without rain, the soil became loose, and soon, the very land they relied on turned against them. In 1932, the drought worsened, and a new threat emerged: massive dust storms that blotted out the sun, reducing visibility to almost zero. Known as black blizzards, these storms were like something out of a nightmare. Dust would creep through cracks, seep into houses, and cover everything. Imagine waking up with a layer of dust on your bed, in your hair, and even in your lungs. For many, breathing became a constant struggle, and dust pneumonia became a common ailment, leading to thousands of deaths, especially among children and the elderly. The Great Migration. As the Dust Bowl raged on, farmers faced an impossible choice: stay and fight against a losing battle or leave in search of greener pastures. Thousands chose the latter, packing up their belongings and heading west, hoping to start over. California became the dream destination, but it wasn't easy. Migrants faced rejection, exploitation, and prejudice, often referred to dismissively as Okies. For many, the reality of California didn't match the dream, and they were forced to take low-paying, back-breaking work to survive. A nation struggles. The Dust Bowl struck during the Great Depression, adding to the nation's economic misery. People across the country felt its effects. Food prices soared, and the government struggled to respond to the massive wave of migration and poverty. President Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal offered some relief, creating the Soil Conservation Service and paying farmers to adopt better farming practices to prevent soil erosion. But for many, these measures were too little, too late. The resilience of the people. Despite the hardships, the Dust Bowl survivors showed incredible resilience. Communities banded together, helping each other through the darkest days. Stories emerged of families pooling their resources, sharing food, and sheltering neighbors in need. The spirit of determination kept many going, even when they faced the constant threat of losing everything. Lessons learned. By 1939, rains returned to the prairies, and the Dust Bowl began to recede, but its scars remained. The Dust Bowl taught America a hard lesson about respecting the land. Farmers began to use new soil conservation techniques, planting windbreaks, rotating crops, and protecting the soil with cover crops. These practices remain essential to agriculture today, ensuring that the land remains fertile and productive. Legacy of the Dust Bowl. The Dust Bowl's legacy is still visible in American culture and memory. It inspired some of the greatest works of American literature, like John Steinbeck's The Grapes of Wrath, capturing the despair and resilience of the people who lived through it. These stories remind us of the hardships faced by those who lived through the Dust Bowl and the strength they found in the face of devastation. The Dust Bowl was more than a natural disaster. It was a test of human endurance. As we look back, we see the strength, spirit, and resolve that pulled America through one of its darkest chapters. Cultural impact and the arts beyond literature, the Dust Bowl influenced American art and music, often reflecting the despair and resilience of the era. Songs like Woody Guthrie's Dust Bowl Blues brought the experience to life, capturing the sorrow, frustration, and spirit of the migrants. Through art, Americans across the country gained a deeper understanding of the hardships faced by those who lost their homes and livelihoods. Environmental and agricultural reform. The Dust Bowl also marked a turning point in American environmental policy. To prevent such a disaster from happening again, the government introduced large-scale soil conservation projects, educating farmers on sustainable practices. The legacy of these reforms continues, with soil conservation and land management becoming central to agricultural policy, aiming to protect American farmland for generations to come. If you enjoyed learning about the Dust Bowl and want more stories like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more. Thank you for watching History Decoded, where we uncover the past to better understand our present.